now available on e-readers everywhere. From the author of the Simp Trilogy, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. Manginas, they look like men, but they act like ladies. And the misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho comes, Stop Simping in the Workplace. Learn what mistakes not to make with women and protect your job with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available on e-readers everywhere. I've been on a lot of interviews over the last couple of years, and as I've done a lot of interviews with different businesses, I've come to propose one question regarding the whole interview process at many of these companies. Are employers really looking for the best person with the best skills, or are they looking for a person who fits a narrative? And the reason why I propose that question is because when I look at the way many employers approach the job market these days, they often approach it from an emotional perspective, not a logical one. And because they approach it from an emotional perspective, they're often looking for someone who makes them feel comfortable and makes them feel comfortable about doing business with, and they're not looking at a person's skill set. And that can be a really detrimental approach to doing business and hiring employees, because whenever you think about how you feel about someone, it doesn't really relate to their performance. So I look at that whole emotional approach, and it's not really a constructive way to invest a business's resources. Because a lot of people, when it comes down to this whole approach of looking for the person they're most comfortable with, they're not thinking about how they're approaching and hiring employees from a business perspective. Now, when you hire an employee, it's an investment in your business, and every dollar you spend hiring this employee and paying their paycheck pretty much is a long-term investment, and you want to see a return on that investment through the work that that employee puts in at your job. And that's why you really need to have a more logical approach to hiring people. It needs to be more about skills, but in these days people are looking for someone they can be comfortable with, and because they think about their emotions, in many cases they wind up hiring people, and then the person turns over, and then they don't get that long-term return on their investment. And because they're not thinking of it from a business perspective, they're pretty much throwing good money after bad, hiring people and turning them over, not thinking about the return that you're supposed to make on the investment of that employee. That's why I believe that you really need to focus on the skills a person brings to the table and the skills they have brought to previous employers' tables and the results they have produced. And there has to be a really strong focus on that. And this is something many employers really don't focus on, because they're thinking about their emotions and how this person is making them feel during the job interview. Because the guy is friendly and kind and approachable in the interview process, really doesn't really show you what they're going to do when you bring them on the job. Because a lot of people, they're nice, they're warm, they're friendly, they make you feel comfortable, but they're not really productive employees. But a lot of people who are hiring people these days, they're more about narrative and how they feel and fitting someone into their company and being social, that they're not thinking about making things about productivity and performance. And when you focus on skills, you can focus on someone who's going to be about productivity and performance. And the big problem I see with a lot of businesses is that we have a lot of people focused on the social aspects of the business and not the productivity aspects of a business. Because businesses are supposed to be places where you're not supposed to be comfortable. They're supposed to be places set up that are designed to compete against other businesses. And a lot of people, as I see it with the hiring processes, aren't really focused on finding employees who will be able to help them compete against other businesses. It's all about being comfortable in the workplace, not competing in the workplace. And when you have a workplace where no one is focused on skills and there's all this focus on comfort, there is no focus on competition. Because when you focus on competition, what happens is you're focused on trying to create new markets, trying to reach new audiences, trying to reach new customers, and you do that because you're uncomfortable. And uncomfortable people are looking for new things to do and reaching new audiences and new customers because they have to do it. They want to survive, and they understand that they are here to survive. But when you have people who are comfortable and feeling warm and fuzzy and are comfortable with each other, they're not really focused on developing the organization or expanding the organization or meeting the goals of the organization. This is a big problem with today's hiring process. Everybody is focused on finding people who fit a narrative and tell them what they want to hear, not focused on trying to look for people who can tell you what you need to know to expand your business. Everything is all about making somebody feel good, but not focused on learning about someone's skill set so that you can get people in your organization who will help it grow and expand and go to the next level. Because when I go to interview processes, it's more about feelings and emotions, not about trying to find the people who are the best people for the job. It's all about the people who make people feel the best, but not about being the best. And because it's not about creating a work environment where people are competitive, that's why a lot of companies are pretty much struggling, because everyone is comfortable, but work is never meant to be comfortable. Work is all about competition. Everybody who goes to work is going there because they want to move ahead and they want to move towards the goals they want to accomplish. Nobody usually goes to work to be comfortable or relaxed or to be around people who are comfortable and relaxed, because then they have no incentive to be better, do better, or move forward towards the goals they want to accomplish in their career. And when I look at today's hiring processes and many companies, it's all about how people feel, and it's not about thinking about finding the person with the best skills for the best job. It's all about people feeling a certain way around someone, feeling a certain way about someone, and feeling comfortable around someone. But when you feel comfortable around someone, that's not a person who's going to help you grow in the workplace. Yes, there has to be a work dynamic in the workplace, and there has to be professionalism in the workplace, but people have to understand that everybody in a workplace is there because they have goals they want to accomplish, and that they're competing to move themselves ahead. They're not just there to just sit there and become comfortable, because comfortable people, these are the people who get slack in their skills, they get sloppy in their skills, and they can pretty much cost a business their reputation and their brand, because these people are comfortable, they're not feeling challenged, and they have no incentive to try to be better or to do better or to try to create new ways of doing things or to try to reach new markets. And when you go out and hire people, you have to think about how that person is going to use their skills to expand your marketplace and reach new customers, reach new audiences, and pretty much take efforts to move your company ahead as they reach their personal and professional goals. This is the type of person who would be would be the best person for an organization. But most companies these days are looking for people to fit into their narrative and tell them what they want to hear and tell them a story that they want to hear, instead of looking for a person who, again, will tell you what you need to know to move ahead. Now, a person who will tell you what you need to know to move ahead, you may not like that person, you may not feel a certain way about that person, but the things that they're saying to you may help your business move ahead, and it may help it grow. And the whole point of growth is that companies have to go through pain. And a lot of companies, they don't want the employees to be people who want to go through any sort of hardship. They want these happy, comfortable people, but happy, comfortable people don't help a business expand, they don't help a business grow, and they don't want to do anything to upset the apple cart. They want to be comfortable, and they make you feel a certain way, and they tell you what you want to hear. But people who tell you what you want to hear are the kind of people who will pretty much never help a business expand or grow. So when I look at today's interview process, I just have to wonder, is it about getting the person with the best skills, or is it about getting a person who's trying to fit in like a junior high school kid and fit into a narrative that pretty much makes people feel comfortable? That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.